Hi everyone, welcome to another video of SQL LeetCode problems. So for this session, I have picked up the problem number 571 and this problem is categorized as hard. So let's look at the problem now. So in this problem, we have to calculate the median of the value. And let's look at the data set and then it will be more easy to understand. So we have this number table where we have two column number and frequency. And frequency is basically the repetition of number. If we simply expand this table, then we have to then there will be 7 record for 0 and then 1 record for 1 and 3 record for 2 and then again 1 record for 3. So basically the frequency column tells that how many times that number should repeat in a set of list. Alright, so according to the question, we have to write a SQL query to report the median of all the numbers in the database after decompressing the number table. And we have to round the median to 1 decimal point. So before we start writing down the query, let's do some math. So what is median? Median is basically the center point of the list. So if we have a, a list where we have like odd number of elements, then there will be one center point. And if in the list we have even number of elements, then there will be two center point. So basically what we do is like we just take the length of list and divide it by 2. Let's look at the data set again and try to derive the median theoretically before we write down the query. So in this list, we have if we add all the frequency, then it will be there will be like 12 number of elements will be to 12. And what would be the median of 12? If we divide 12 by 2, then the median is 6. So if the number of elements in a list is even, then there will be two center point. So in this scenario, the number which we have to take in order to calculate the median will be the 6th number and the 7th number, which is 0 in our case, because if we just iterate through the list, then uh, the 0 is the element at the 6th place and the 7th place. And when we are trying to solve this problem using query, we are not going to expand this table into 12 record and then calculate it. Instead, we will use the frequency column to find out the correct record in the given data set. And then we will calculate the median. How we can do that? In order to do that, we have to first calculate the median point of all the frequency. And then we can locate the median point in the given data set. Let's write down the query and then we can discuss further. So first let's try to find out the median point of the list. Select star from numbers. We will use the table numbers. And how we can find out the median point? We will just sum the frequency using the window function. And since we are summing up the frequency for all the record, it's going to be the same value for all the record. So it will sum up all the frequency 7131 and display 12 for all the numbers. So and that's why we don't have to provide any kind of partition by or order by value in the expression. Let's call this column as a median point. All right, so okay, I forgot one thing. So this is not the median point, this is just the sum. In order to calculate the median point, we have to divide this by 2. So that would give us the median point. Now we also need another number in order to locate the median point when we iterate through the record, and that another number is the total frequency so far. So as we iterate through the record, we have to add the frequency so that we will know the total frequency so far up to that record. So for example, let's go through the record. So for the first record, the total frequency so far is 7. For the second record, the total frequency so far is 8. And then for the third record, the total frequency so far is 11, and so on. Let's derive that value as well. So in order to derive that value, we are going to use the window function. Sum of the frequency, and when we are deriving it, we have to use the order by clause. Num. So this way it will sort the number and it will add the frequency up to that number. And let's call this as total frequency so far. All right, let's see if this bit of code is running or not. Okay, so wrong answer, code is running, and this is what I was explaining earlier. So we also have to calculate the total frequency so far for each record, and the median point is same for all the record. All right, so now we have these two information, and then we can use this data set as a temporary data set for the outer query. Select star from, let's format the query. And we will call this data set as A. Okay, so and when we are going through the record, we would also need their actual columns like number and frequency, because that's what we are going to calculate the median at the end. So I have not taken out those columns in the inner query, so let's do that as well. So we will call the inner table as n, and we can put n dot star. So this way we will get the regular records, and then we will also get the median point and the total frequency so far. So the objective here is we are going to find out the median point between the current record and the next record. And when we are doing it, basically we are finding out the window where our median frequency falls in. But when we are comparing between the frequency of that corresponding record and the next record. So let's try to implement that in terms of where condition. So what I'm trying to locate the median point, and my median point would be, should be in between the previous frequency and the current frequency, right? So if we calculate the current frequency and when we are on the second record, then that would be 8, right? And that's where we are going to use the total frequency so far. In our case, with the given data set, the first record itself is the number we need. So the comparison in the where condition will look like this. our median point is 6, and that 6 should be between 0 and 7, right? And how we can get the 0 in order to get, so let's try to derive that formula in the where condition. Our median point is 6 and 0 would be what we can do is we can subtract the total frequency so far minus frequency and the total frequency so far. So total frequency so far is what? 7 for the first record, and if we subtract 7 minus 7, it will give us 0, and total frequency is the 7. So this criteria is satisfying for the first record. Let's remove this and see if we are getting our number or not. Okay, runtime error. Alright, I think there's a syntax error here. It should be between. Okay, so this is what we need. Once we have this number, we just have to take the average of. So once we find the row which we need in order to calculate the median, we can use the average function to get the median. And we know how to calculate the average, right? So average is basically we add the numbers and then we divide it by the count of the numbers. So with the given data set, the median is 6th and the 7th place. So the average of 6th and 7th place is 0 plus 0 divided by 2, which is 0. So even if we had some other number instead of 0, let's say that other number is 2, right? And if we take the average of 2 plus 2 divided by 2, it's going to be 2 only. So that will give us the correct median. Let's implement that in terms of formula in the query. So we have the number, and what we can do is we can just use the average function, and we can call that as median. Okay, so now this query is running and this is accepted as well. Let's submit it. All right, so this query successfully submitted. I think we are good. Let's go back to the description. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if anyone has any comment. Please subscribe to my channel if you like the video. Thank you.